In the shadows of one of the world's most prestigious universities, a crime once lurked. Hidden beneath Harvard's ivy-clad walls was a sinister tale, a murder that would grip Boston society and shock academia to its core. It was the autumn of 1849, a chilling season that would forever tarnish the university's prestigious image. The victim was George Parkman, a prominent Harvard benefactor. His mysterious disappearance spiraled into a tale of greed, betrayal, and darkness, eventually exposing one of the university's most revered professors. Join us today as we unravel one of history's darkest university scandals, the infamous Parkman-Webster murder case. This true college murder mystery reveals Ivy League secrets buried for generations. On November 23, 1849, the bustling streets around Harvard Medical College were humming with activity. George Parkman, a wealthy philanthropist who contributed passionately to Harvard Medical School, would walk into the college for the last time ever. One of Parkman's key contributions was financial support for improvements and expansions of Harvard Medical School facilities in the mid-19th century. He was deeply interested in advancing medical education and research, and his donations helped fund better resources for students and faculty. Beyond monetary gifts, Parkman also maintained close ties with Harvard's leadership. He regularly advocated for reforms that would elevate the university's scholarly reputation. His involvement was so substantial that, before his untimely death, many at Harvard regarded him not just as a benefactor, but also as an unofficial advisor on the institution's future direction. These contributions, both financial and advisory, made the tragedy of what happened with him all the more shocking to the Harvard community. On that bustling day of November 23, 1849, Parkman set out for a seemingly routine appointment. But as daylight faded, Parkman vanished without a trace, plunging the community into a web of anxiety and suspicion. Days stretched into weeks, and whispers of scandal began spreading like wildfire. Parkman was no ordinary man. His family held sway in Boston's elite circles, and his mysterious disappearance ignited the city's imagination. A search for Parkman was intensified. Harvard janitor Ephraim Littlefield grew suspicious. Unsettled by a professor's odd behaviors, he took matters into his own hands. Late one night, guided only by a flickering lantern, Littlefield tunneled beneath the professor's laboratory. What he uncovered would horrify even the bravest. Hidden beneath floorboards and concealed within the brick walls were grim discoveries, bones, remnants hastily concealed. Authorities quickly confirmed the worst fears. These were the remains of George Parkman. This discovery would become a turning point in the investigation, transforming it from mere whispers into an outright scandal. The lab belonged to Professor John Webster, an esteemed professor of chemistry and geology at Harvard. Webster was celebrated for his intellect and the last person anyone would have suspected. As police began to peel back layers of secrecy, a series of dark revelations unfolded. Webster owed Parkman a substantial sum, an unpaid debt that had brewed bitterness between them. Yet, how could a distinguished Harvard professor resort to murder? It seemed inconceivable. The university's reputation hung precariously by a thread. An Ivy League institution, renowned globally, was now at the center of one of America's most infamous campus crimes. Webster's trial became a media spectacle, capturing attention far beyond Harvard Yard. Courtrooms overflowed, newspapers speculated feverishly, and the nation watched in suspenseful disbelief. John White Webster was indicted for murder in early 1850 at the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court. After a sensational set of proceedings, marked by extensive forensic evidence, such as the bloodstains found in Webster's lab, eyewitness testimony, and Webster's protests of innocence, the jury returned a guilty verdict of first-degree murder on March 30, 1850. The court subsequently sentenced Webster to death. He was hanged at the Leverett Street Jail in Boston on August 30th, 1850, marking the grim conclusion of one of the era's most infamous cases. The verdict sent shockwaves throughout academia, tarnishing the image of professors and shaking public trust. The revelation of academic betrayal became a scandal that Harvard struggled for decades to overcome. The official investigation exposed that George Parkman had gone to Dr. John Webster's lab regarding a debt Webster owed him. During the encounter, a confrontation ensued, resulting in Parkman's death. Seeking to conceal the crime, Webster hid Parkman's remains in and beneath his laboratory at Harvard Medical College. The turning point came when a suspicious janitor, Ephraim Littlefield, noticed Webster acting oddly. Yet even after the conviction, mysteries lingered. Some speculated there was more behind Webster's actions, a deeper conspiracy, or a darker secret perhaps entwined within the institution itself. Historians today still debate Webster's true motives, with theories ranging from sheer financial desperation to more profound psychological disturbances. This crime was more than just murder. It was an exposé of human frailty, hidden desperation, and the sometimes blurry line between genius and madness within academia. Harvard's scandal wasn't merely a blemish. It became symbolic of hidden pressures and secrets lurking within seemingly pristine institutions. Indeed, as detailed in the historical analysis published by Harvard Magazine, titled "The Murder of Dr. Parkman, a Harvard Crime of the Century, the Complexities of Human Nature, Financial Pressures, and Ethical Boundaries Within Academia," are vividly highlighted through the Parkman-Webster case. The article emphasizes the lasting implications of this scandal on academic integrity and institutional reputation. The Parkman-Webster murder trial didn't simply end with Webster's execution. It left an indelible mark on Harvard, a legacy whispered about in halls and classrooms for generations. The story, filled with intrigue and tragedy, serves as a stark reminder that human motives are a deep mystery, and what lies within isn't always obvious to the naked eye. This chilling case was more than a university scandal. It was a haunting reflection of society's darker inclinations, where ambition, pride, and desperation collide disastrously. Professor Webster's downfall showcased the potential for even the brightest minds to succumb to baser impulses when pushed to extremes. Today, Harvard has rebuilt its legacy, but the echoes of the 1849 murder linger subtly, embedded in the culture of vigilance and accountability now prominent in academic institutions. Historians and psychologists continue to revisit the case, examining human psychology and institutional vulnerabilities exposed by this notorious scandal. The Parkman-Webster murder remains one of academia's most haunting tales, a college murder mystery forever ingrained in Ivy League secrets. It reminds us that behind grandeur and intellect can lie shadows, dark recesses where morality frays and desperate acts unfold. Indeed, the importance of vigilance and integrity in education cannot be overstated, especially as we strive to uphold the values upon which these revered institutions are built. So as you stroll Harvard's storied grounds, beneath the same ivy that once witnessed murder, remember, history is never far behind, and within it are lessons crucial for the future. This infamous Harvard scandal urges us to reflect, to learn, and perhaps most importantly, to ensure such darkness never descends upon academia again.